I think we can go out and say that the Portland Trail Blazers won the 2023 NBA draft. They were not only able to go out and get potentially the best player in the class, but they were also able to go out and get a couple of win-now guys that can really help Dame out this year and maybe next year if they keep him around. They were able to get Scoot Henderson, who definitely has a chance to be the best player to come out of this class. That includes Victor Wembanyama. They got Chris Murray later in the first round, and then Ryan Rupert at 43, absolute steal right there. Now they do have, a couple of decisions to make with Jeremy Grant, with Jusuf Nurkic in terms of, are they going to bring them back? Are they going to let them walk? And then they still have quite a few young guys that they need to try and develop. The main two, Anthony Simons and then Shadon Sharp, I believe is how you pronounce it. So we're going to be talking about all that and more in today's video. Make sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment down below as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And as you can see here, about 97% of the audience is not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button if you are new here. We're posting NBA content all off season long and into the season as well. So let's go ahead and get started looking at this huge draft that the Blazers had. Like I said, they got the best player available at 3. He would have been the best player available at 2, but for some reason my Charlotte Hornets yet again passed on a generational type player. He has the highest floor in the draft, and I'm willing to die on that hill. He is a franchise player. So, in a couple years when Dame goes out the window, it's going to be the Scoot Henderson show, and this draft kind of reminds me of Hakeem at 1, Victor Wembanyama, and then Sam Bowie at 2, of course my Charlotte Hornets getting Brandon Miller, and then Scoot falling to 3 just because the team at number 2 decided to draft off fit. He averaged 16.5 points, 6.5 assists, and 5.5 boards in the G League. His only hole really in his game is his 3-point jumper, which I think, he's got a great work ethic. I think that will fix itself over the next few years. Now, they were also able to go out and get Chris Murray out of the University of Iowa, 6'8", 225, so ideal height weight coming into the league, and he's a guy that he's really good at defense for his size. We've seen with his brother Keegan, they're twin brothers, so obviously they're going to be built the exact same. They're both elite defenders, in my opinion. 23 points a game this year at Iowa, so he can definitely put it in the hole. However, not quite as skilled offensively as his brother, which is why I think he was, the 23rd pick instead of the 4th. But he has potential to be a good 3-and-D guy for this Blazers team down the line. And then Ryan Rupert, elite value at pick 43. I had him as a fringe first-round pick just because of his ability. If he develops any form of jump shot, he's going to be a great 3-and-D wing. But that's what makes this a project pick. He's already a good defender. He can defend with the best of them, so maybe that's how he gets some minutes in this rotation. But the offense is just not there right now, and it will probably take a couple of years to develop. But if it ever does develop, then watch out, because he's going to be a really nice piece on this Blazers team. Now, Dame Lillard is staying put. The Blazers GM, they had a sit-down conversation. Met with Dame and Aaron Goodwin this afternoon. We have a great dialogue. We remain committed to building a winner around Dame. So obviously that kind of puts all the Dame trade rumors to bed. And I feel like Dame is going to be a Blazer next year and potentially the year after that as well. But if not, they have an elite young guard trio if they do want to go a different direction than Dame. We already talked about Scoot Henderson being a guy that he can be a franchise player for sure. You got Anthony Simons, who averaged 21.1 points per game and 4.1 assists. He's kind of the guy getting left out to dry here because you can't take a guy at number 3 and then sit him on the bench. But Simons is probably going to have to come off the bench next year. But a guy that put up 21 points a game on 45% shooting from the field, 38% from 3, and he's still very young. So a bit of a logjam there at the guard spot for the Blazers. 2.6 rebounds as well in 35 minutes per game for Anthony. And then the other guy here, Shadon Sharp, I believe. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I said Shadon Sharp in the last video, and y'all are doing tricks on it in the comment section. I'm not going to lie. But he averaged 10 points per game and 3 rebounds for the Blazers last year, but that was in very limited minutes. He's one of my guys from last year's draft class. I really liked him a lot, and that was, again, in 22 minutes per game, also averaged 1.2 assists. I think that comes out to about 17 points a game per 36 minutes, so he's a guy that I'm really looking forward to getting more minutes. And 47% from the field, 36% from 3 is great shooting splits for a guy that never even touched a college court, went straight from high school to the league. Now, a couple of big decisions here for the Blazers this offseason. Matisse Thybulle and Cam Reddish are both free agents, but you're not going to have enough money to bring them both back. In my opinion, you take Matisse Thybulle over Cam Reddish because you have enough scoring from your guard spots and from Jeremy Grant that you don't need yet another, scorer at the 3. I think that you go out and you stick with the defense, and he can knock down the corner 3 as well in Matisse Thybulle versus like a Cam Reddish. And then Jeremy Grant, you also have him. He averaged about 20.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists a night this year for the Blazers. He's a guy that I think you definitely have to re-sign him, especially if you're trying to build a contender around Dame. 48% from the field, 40% from 3. The dude can absolutely score it on the offensive side of the ball. Also averaged 0.8 steals and 0.8 blocks. And again, only 29 years old, so definitely still has a few good years left. He can be Dame's running mate for a little while now. Now, Dame also said that his dream offseason was bringing back Jeremy Grant and then going out and getting Draymond Green. However, I do not think that Draymond is going to be a Blazer next year. He is essentially a lock to return to the Warriors now that Jordan Poole is gone. They also have Chris Paul, so the Warriors are going all in. I don't really like that decision, but we'll see. The lineups are as follows. I stuck Matisse Thybulle in there at the 3 just because you've got enough scoring with Dame and Scoot. You need some defense there. Really the only defender. If you put Shea Sharp in there in the starting lineup, then it's not looking good. There is essentially no defense there. Like I said, Scoot, you can't draft the guy at number 3 and put him on the bench. Anthony Simons, he's going to come off the bench in that 6-man role, and he's going to have the ball and be able to just cook up. A 2-guard lineup with Dame and Scoot, I like it. However, they're both under 6'4", which is a bit concerning. But with Thybulle at the 3, he's guarding the best guy on the perimeter. And then, Jeremy Grant can play. He can't really play defense. Nurkic can't really play defense. He's just a paint presence. We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if they trade for another defender. And then off the bench, like I said, Ryan Rupert and Chris Murray are both good defenders, so they can, get some minutes there. Drew Eubanks at the backup center spot. He's been a reliable option for the Blazers for a little while now. And then, the guard spots off the bench, pretty dang good as well. You look at Anthony Simons, you look at Shadon Sharp. Sharp is a guy that I think is going to have an absolute breakout year next year. And then Simon, that's the future of this team, is Sharp, Simons, and Scoot. The 3 S's, the killer S's, or whatever you want to say. Drop some nicknames down in the comments below for that trio, because that is the future of Portland Trail Blazer basketball with Dame Lillard on the way out. Again, if Ryan Rupert can develop any sort of offensive game, he is going to be very, very tough. You also have Nasir Little and Trendon Watford. A couple more young guys that have some potential left. We'll see what happens with them, but I don't really see him getting any rotation minutes. I thought Nasir Little was going to get some this year, but he just didn't really get an opportunity, and when he had his opportunity, he really didn't make the most of it. But for the Blazers, they're going to try and go out and win a championship with Dame. It's not going to work, I'm going to tell you right now. They're not winning a championship with this roster. They're going to have to make some huge additions. They talked about the Paul George for Scoot Henderson trade. That never came to fruition, so not trying to hate, but this Blazers team, it's going to be the future for them with Scoot, with Anthony Simons, and with Shadon Sharp. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit the subscribe button, as well as turning on post notifications down in the comment, and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.